do you guys have any projects for Flex Flats right now, whether it's in Southern California or just any other kind of city that's in progress or in process, or are you guys just announcing this now? And
Yeah, so we're really just rolling this out as a concept right now. Over the years, and even now, we've had multiple developers and building owners kind of nibbling around at this idea.
I bet,
And it's just never quite gelled. So nothing has gone forward. Now you can find all kinds of adaptive reuse in old historic buildings that have gone from office space to residential or hospitality and so this idea is more about these kind of more typical office buildings that were they're not historic. There's not anything that's particularly I don't know, architecturally significant and wonderful, although you certainly can use this in those buildings too. But the idea was kind of, what do we do with these, with all of these suburban or sort of not so great office buildings? How can we use any part of those things, or are we just, do we have to just scrape it and knock it down? And there seems like, just intuitively, it seems like, well, you've already got this floor, the structural system, possibly an exterior skin, you've got elevators, you've got all of this stuff. Is there not a way to make that work for residential? And so, as this goes along, we've got it out there in the world to some contractors, trying to get some feedback on pricing too. Unfortunately, they weren't ready to go by the time we got to you guys, so we can't give you it, because that's the next step of how much does it cost to convert an office building into residential. And so hopefully, and it's not our same cast of characters that we normally deal with in terms of contractors, because contractors that do ground up buildings, maybe that's not the ones you want to use. So who we're talking to are those guys that have typically done TI work and things like that, so that they kind of understand how you have to work around things. And so hopefully we'll have that information.
I love this, because I think our partnership is naturally going to lend to more of these projects coming through. So I think this is super important that we get this information out there to the masses, because I think, we talked about this all the time. Our users are brokers that are kind of the tip of the spear, that are trying to put these concepts and these ideas in front of property owners and developers, right? And not all developers are always thinking about what's the next new thing. There's a lot of them that kind of just get bogged down or into the same type of cookie cutter builds that they're used to, has a certain ROI, and they just want to do that at mass and scale. So we'd like to impart some new ideas, right? And some new concepts in front of them, so that they can also, diversify their portfolio. Like, I was in a call with Equity Residential, and they were just like, look, we have too many assets that are urban core, and we are actively looking for suburban or in the middle. There's going to be the second city. I mean, there's all of these concepts and things that are being thrown around, because we don't know, right? We're just kind of trying to figure out how it's going to take shape in the next few years. But you definitely need to be ready for that. And I think it's super important here.